So wow, some pretty significant news. It looks like BlackRock is the reason why Bitcoin is selling off. This is one of the reasons why Bitcoin is selling off. So recent news, BlackRock sells $188.7 million in Bitcoin. And what does this mean for the market? Well, BlackRock was going to invest trillions of dollars, supposedly. That's what they said. And as of right now, it doesn't look like that. So BlackRock actually transferred 100,000 Bitcoin across 29 different wallets. Yesterday, on Friday, they sold 188 million of Bitcoin, one of the largest Bitcoin sales ever recorded. And you can see that right here, that red candle right here. Not only on Binance.com, but on Cointelegraph. You can see that red candle there, and on MSN.com. Big, huge red candle. So this isn't just one company or one news article talking about it. It's multiple articles talking about BlackRock selling Bitcoin. Now, why is this? And what is the reasoning behind Bitcoin selling Bitcoin? Well, it looks like that what's behind it? Well, there's two possibilities: locking in profits. BlackRock likely bought Bitcoin around an average price of 50,000 to 60,000 per coin. And now that it was at highs of 108,000, 100,000 per coin, I believe they had a strategic move to cash in on the massive profits, almost doubling their initial investment. So this actually could influence the market even more and causing other people like retail investors and other businesses and platforms potentially following with this selling pressure. Now, this could be market manipulation. If they sell, then many could go with it. Similar scenario in Fola with Mount Govex and Germany, where the large Bitcoin dump led to a sharp price drop, triggering panic selling. Is BlackRock aiming to spark that same chain reaction that happened with Mount Govex? Mount Gux? We will see. Um, so what could happen next? Well, possible market reactions. If retail investors panic and follow with BlackRock's lead on selling Bitcoin at these highs, then it could lead to further selling pressure, fear, and further decline. Um, it could be a lot, right? BlackRock, with its massive market influence, could be setting the stage to shake out weaker hands, those who panic easily and sell at a loss, those who could create a buying opportunity for them at lower prices while retail investors get shaken out. Now, it is overvalued, it is overhyped. I do trade Bitcoin through Mara, but I don't necessarily trade Bitcoin with strictly Bitcoin, right? So it has sold off 80% in the past. And when we're at highs of 108,000, it was already in that sell-off process. At 99, it was at $30. Let's go ahead and look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin got up to 108,000, but it hasn't been able to get past 100,000 since then. Now, there's also a support of $90,000, and that needs to be broken. If we break a $90,000 support, then we can see this actually begin to sell off even more. This can come all the way down to 70,000 and even down to $50,000 range, right? Because this reminds me a lot of 2018. In 2018, it did the exact same thing where it pushed up very, very nicely, pushed up from 10,000 to 64, and then it literally sold right back off to 29,000, 55% loss, went all the way back up to 69,000, and then sold all the way back off down to lows of 16,000. So it lost 75% of its value very quickly, seemed very easily at the time. So this can actually do the same thing. This reminds me a lot of 2018. It sells off 50% or even 75%. This can go all the way back down to those lows of 50,000, even $25,000. So I'm excited to see this sell off so we can get a better price point. But as of right now, with the selling pressure, this can be very bad for anyone who is in margin, anyone who can possibly get margin called. They will be forced to sell at a lower price when that margin call does take place, making this go down even more. So now, Mara is one of these companies that I've been trading for quite some time, buying in those low range of $13, selling in those high ranges of $25 to $30. Could we see this come back down to $13, maybe even $8, as it has been as low as $3 before back in 2022? Now, back in 2018, when this initially pushed up, 2020, this was at highs of um, or lows of 5, highs of 60, lows of 20, back to 85, and then all the way back down to $6. So Mara is very risky, but it's definitely a nice play when Bitcoin does begin to recover. And this isn't more of a if Bitcoin sells off, it's a matter of when it sells off. And it is continuing to sell off right now, creating lower lows, lower highs, and eventually will create enough selling pressure to be able to knock out all these bulls, which will create even more selling pressure. So possible retracements down to 53,000, best case scenario on this. Looks like it was trading within that range for quite some time. If we can see some nice support around 53, right, and then it starts beginning to trade within this range, 53 to 70, then we can see some interesting moves at the beginning of this coming year. But right now, it does not seem like that is the case. It's not even in this range area that it's been trading in. And it could also just stay within this range of trading if it wants to as well. Doesn't mean it necessarily has to, but it can continue to trade between 90 and 100,000. It could also, sell off even more and consolidate, right? It could sell off and then it could begin to just kind of trade within this area for a while. So I appreciate you guys' time. I did this video because I want you guys to be aware of what's going on, and I want you guys to understand not only the risk, but also the benefits to investing in Bitcoin eventually once this does correct and begin to retrace back to those levels. If we can get in again at 50,000, 60,000 when it sells off and ride that back up to 100, 108, then we can 100% our money. We can double our money by being patient, identifying the opportunity when it does begin to sell off and retrace. But until then, I do not want to invest in Bitcoin or Mara at the moment. As you can see, I've traded it plenty in the past, and now we're just waiting for the perfect setup, a little bit of movement, and hopefully not a ton of selling pressure. Again, if we do get selling pressure, I'm more than happy to wait and start loading up down in those $50,000 range for Bitcoin, which would put Mara probably back at those $7, $10 range. So very interesting to see. Hood, very nice, very bullish, also playing off of crypto and stock market, but nothing too crazy. It was as high as $43 on Hood, came down to 34, and is now slowly going back up. But with Bitcoin and the sell pressure for this weekend, I can see this coming back down to $34 come Monday. So hope you guys enjoyed this real quick breakdown of Bitcoin and how it is going to affect the market, mainly Bitcoin with the next few weeks and months to come. I can see this selling off till mid-January, maybe the beginning of February, and then maybe once Trump is in office, we will begin to see a nice push back up to those $100,000 levels. Until then, I appreciate you guys' time, and remember, if you guys want to watch me trade live every single morning, as soon as Monday morning, or as soon as tomorrow morning, depending on when you're watching this, subscribe to the channel, smash that notification bell, and that'll give you access to my free live stream videos where you can watch me trade live every single day, ask me questions, get inside my head as to why I'm taking those positions or getting out of particular positions, and learn along the way. Get involved with other like-minded individuals such as yourself who all want to do the same thing, and that's learn how to make money in the stock market. So I appreciate you guys' time. Like always, let's remember to end the year on a green note, and we will see you all Monday morning for our live stream. Take care, guys.